Welcome to Meditation Monday. Hello, how art thou? I'm doing well. Myself. Hope you are too. This week, I have been challenged to really observe a lot of the patterns that just naturally, constantly, subconsciously, automatically run in the back of my mind. And the only way to change that is to become very, 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 very aware of what exactly is happening and why, so that you can meet the need directly as to why you feel, a part of you feels like that mind chatter is necessary and it's a part of who you are. And if you didn't have it, who would you be, right? While it's simultaneously making us extremely miserable, because whenever we are doused in our thoughts, we're not really experiencing the present moment for what it really is. We're seeing it through the distorted lens of our limited perception. So that's why it's very, very important to take some time out of your day, whether it's every single day, ideally, to sit down with the intention of simply getting to know that part of yourself. Instead of most people in meditation, I think, the goal is to obviously create more gaps between thought and the silence. But honestly, the best way to do this is to just completely face the thing that is making so much noise. Instead of just kind of going like this, la, 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 and counting sometimes. Sometimes it's just nice to stop the fight, turn around, and actually look at the thing that's trying to get your attention, right? So in this meditation, I thought that I would do my best to guide you into how that looks like, what that looks like for me when I sit down in that. Usually when I do this, I am triggered. Something has disrupted me emotionally, and I'm not on the same page with my inner being usually. And so that's the reason for this practice, though, is to really get to know your ego, what it says, everything it says, even the most nastiest of things. It doesn't matter, because it's just a perspective from a wound, an experience that hurt us. So there's a lot to unpack. So I don't really know how we're gonna get into this. I just feel into it, honestly. I think the best way to start always is to just become so aware of what's happening right here in the now. If you're triggered by something, you usually just replay the past event over in your mind, the actual scenario and what happened and what was said and how it made you feel and all that blah, 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 blah. So I still want you to feel the feeling if you're feeling that, but recognize that that event is no longer occurring. It may have been several hours or days or months or years, and here you are, right here. Feel how it feels to be human. And have whatever human emotion that you are currently embodying. Say yes to it right now. Just be kind of like, you know what? This is where I am. I might as well just fucking be all about it. Say yes. Say yes. like to start focusing on the breath slightly, gently, just the intention of deepening the breath and making sure that it is accumulating from almost like your root chakra down here instead of up here in shallow breaths. That's really going to induce a natural state of relaxation in the body and tell the body that this is the time to let your guard down and be safe and relax and let everything bubble up. You can notice the things around you. Take a good look, being just here in this moment as if nothing else exists, because nothing does. And once you've kind of got your surroundings, your bearings, you're just kind of like, all right, this is where I am. This is how I feel. Your mind is probably racing a little bit. You're probably having maybe a lot of crazy thoughts. And we're not here to really do anything about it in this meditation, honestly. This is the art of sort of letting your mind have its drama. Let it play out the drama as many times as it would like to, in as many ways as it would like to. And notice how your mind will give meaning to it. This happened, this experience, you give meaning to yourself. Like, this defines me in some certain way sometimes. Like, this means that I'm a bad person sometimes, or this can mean that I'm irresponsible, or certain scenarios we sometimes develop these ideas of who we are because of one situation or one particular thing or one thought that we just keep repeating. So now is a good time to, from a safe distance, you could be, if it's very intense feeling that you're feeling, then obviously you're going to be feeling it in your body. Notice where it's at in your body. Really pay attention to where it's showing up. I can maybe give an example. Yesterday, my heart. It's usually in my heart. I usually feel things in my heart more than anything because I'm just so in constant communication with it. But yeah, I felt that so heavily in my heart yesterday, and the thought that I just kept repeating to myself, that my ego was so, oh my god, took over yesterday, which was fine. I was just allowing myself to experience it and be it and go through it, you know? And it's a journey of self-discovery, so it's exciting. So no need to be afraid of yourself. If you'd like to at this point, this is where we get a little bit more intentional. We're feeling how we feel, allowing all the drama to come up. And right now you're probably experiencing it from first person perspective, as in, you know, you're completely identified with this feeling. It's your feeling. You know, it sparked something in you, it riled up something in you, maybe brought up some turmoil. And so you're really in the thick of it. You're just experiencing it from just the one perspective. Perfect. Now, take the same feeling that you have, whatever it be, joy, hatred, fear, whatever it may be, and I want you to close your eyes. This may make the sensation a little bit more intense. Remembering that with each deep inhale and exhale, you are allowing energy to come through your body. The deeper the breath, the easier it is for things to just come in and out. notice if the emotions are getting more intense once we have closed our eyes and shut out one of our senses. Just notice it in the body. And the thoughts. You can be in the midst of it right now. You can just really be in the thick of just this egoic narrative that you tell yourself all the time. Really get to know it. This is your opportunity. So maybe I can share a little vulnerability and share with you what that narrative kind of looks like for me right now. My egoic narrative that I am currently working with. I gotta bring it up. Okay? Okay. Nobody sees me. Everything I do, every single thing that I ever do, I put so much love into it. I put so much excitement, joy into it. And then when I present it to the world, the people get mad at me. They get mad at me. Because it's not what they want. It's not what they want to look at. It's not what they want to hear. It triggers them. It bothers them. It makes them wish that it wasn't there. And it makes me sometimes want to punch someone in the fucking face. I'm mad. I'm mad because I'm never seen. I'm mad because I never get the attention I want. I want a lot of attention. A lot. I'm not getting it. It's like people are looking at me through a fun glass mirror. And it hurts. It makes it seem quite futile. Anything I put effort into will just not be recognized for what it really is. It'll be seen from the perception of others as a threat and something that needs to be extinguished. I did not know that was going to come up. That is not what I was expecting to come up, but that's what came up. And so you just sit with whatever comes up. Like for me, I could be swearing 10 times more depending on the situation. It's almost parts work. We're pretty much doing parts work. We're just getting to know that aspect of ourselves that's really in the thick of the experience, the emotion, and the validating how we feel. You can't move forward until you validate yourself and validate others on how they feel. Never tell them that they shouldn't feel, or tell yourself that you shouldn't be feeling how you're currently feeling. Because how you're feeling is a perfect, appropriate indication and message in response to what you're thinking, what you're believing, what you have your attention on. There's nothing bad about it. Whatever comes up, there's no wrong or right. Doesn't matter how violent you feel, how much evil or bad things you want to say, or you just allow it to come up as it is. It's hard. It's so good to say these things out loud or just write them down though too. So from where you are, we're in the thick, we're in it, we're in that feeling. Now, I kept opening my eyes because it's just something that happens, but keep your eyes closed. This is the part that is very, very important, and it's going to be what will actually allow you to soften your own perspective enough to allow a new one to kind of permeate your mind, okay? So close your eyes. Take this emotion that you have inside of you, and I want you to imagine. This just came into my mind, so I'm going to do it. I want you to imagine. See yourself, really visualize yourself, who you are, the emotion in your body. And visualize that emotion in your body almost like a bunch of tiny cloths tied together. And open your mouth. And I want you to imagine, like how clowns do, grabbing a cloth from your tongue, maybe. Don't actually touch your tongue. And visualize whatever feeling that you have being pulled out of you. It doesn't have to be through your mouth. And if you have scary visualizations with that and that triggers you, then you can think of something completely different, but that was what just came to me at first. I just visualized like the actual emotion, opening my mouth and being able to just pull the emotion right out. Really visualizing it, and you can feel it in your body, the emptying of the emotion. It's still there, but you're taking it out of your body. And now you're almost like holding it in your hands, the actual emotion itself, okay? So that's what we're going to be doing for just a little bit brief visualization with deep, deep, deep breathing, and you'll be experiencing it. It'll be crazy. You'll feel this energy cultivating in your hands. Ready? Big, 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 big inhale. Let it all go. Allowing all the emotion to just squeezing it out. You can visualize whatever you want. You can literally like squeeze your arm and imagine it just squeezing out, whatever tickles your pickle. Alright, so I've pulled out all of the emotion, and with that we have it in our hands now. What does it feel like? Mine feels so heavy. It's like, it feels super, super heavy. And now, whatever it's turned into, this is where we have to get very, very intuitive, okay? Let go of the scary clown cloth visualization that I just put you through. And now I just want you to intuitively feel this emotion as if it were a physical thing in your hands. What does it feel like? How heavy is it? How big does it feel like it is? What is it represent? Is it a physical object? Is it an actual thing? Or is it just kind of like the embodiment of a strange substance, perhaps? Play with it. And with that, what we've just actually done is we've been able to separate the one experiencing the experience and the one observing the experience taking place. So, from our perspective right here, we're actually in this space where we're not identified with this emotion and this pain that can be so all-consuming within us and cloud our judgment because we can't think of anything outside of this one painful perspective, right? What we've just done is we've allowed that whole perspective to come outside of us so that we can pull it out and look at it from completely objective perspective. We can see it from all angles now instead of from just being in the midst of it. We can see it from, this is what this looks like, right? From so far away, now that I'm not completely, you know, overcome by this, I can just look at it and see it for what it really, really, really is. So, what is it? What have you pulled out of yourself? Is it making any noises? Mine feels so heavy, and it looks like this blob. It looks like a goopy blob, but then at the same time there's like spikes on top of it. It's spiky and black at the top, but then at the bottom it's like all goopy and flabby, and it's like, I don't want this. I don't know what the fuck this thing is in my hands, but that's what came to me. So I can feel it. Okay, so it's very uncomfortable in my hands. I'm just feeling it in my hands though. It's like not in me anymore. So it's so weird. Feeling it from the outside is super uncomfy. So I'm like folding it. So sit with that. Observe it. Look at it. Really get to know it. Poke it. Get to know that emotion, that feeling. And if you feel into it, this emotion will always have something to tell you. Behind all of the chatter and the drama, there's actually something that needs to be addressed. And so, the closer we get to relaxation, and we keep getting into our breath, and really becoming the observer instead of believing we are this pile of repeated stories and thoughts that just do not serve us, do not remind us of our true power. All of these things that we pick up because of our experience and the things that people tell us, and this physical experience has a lot of contrast. And there's only two things you can do with contrast. Turn the shit into gold, or use that contrast as an excuse to not become your best self. Whew, yikes. So, the best way to do this is to just completely surrender and become completely aware of what it is that you do believe in this moment about yourself, based on, you know, your childhood or your recent circumstances and events. Allowing yourself, as we did, to fully embody it so that it can come up, and then we can take it out, bring it into our arms, and from that point we can return to that objective perspective and almost look at our emotion as if it was a separate entity to us, a separate person who would come to us, a loving friend or something, and we approach it with that kind of energy instead of the pushing away of, oh my God, I don't want to feel this. Instead, we separate enough from it to recognize that it's not something to be afraid of, right? It's something that actually, once we give it all of our loving attention, will fucking be transmuted and transformed. And then instead of having all of these detrimental and horrible narratives going on in the back of your mind all the time, you actually have this narrative that is seeing everything for what it really is. That's really all that's going on. You're not even, it's not this thing of, oh, I changed my negative thoughts to positive. It's becoming aware and accepting and completely just saying yes to reality, the reality of a situation. And when you're not running away from reality all the time, how you really feel, and this gunk, this blob that's in your hands, that's when life really starts happening for you. And I want that for you more than anything. So, breathe. This is easier for people to do when they have done this practice a lot. This is basically called parts work, with a little bit of strange craziness added to it. So this may be difficult for you if you've never done intuitive work and you've never really known that you can really do this. You can really tap into a specific emotion and target it and give it what it needs. This could be like a very confusing process. So it might take some time, but really our focus is to just get as relaxed as possible, get to know this part, and honestly, once you've done that and we've sat in the role of the observer for long enough, you really just have to sit as the observer. And I think naturally, the need that that emotion is asking for will naturally start to bubble up. Give it a try. So in this moment, as we are sitting here, observing this emotion, you really shouldn't be feeling any of the actual emotion anymore, because it's all outside of you. We're going to bring it back into ourselves. But for right now, we're here for this complete 360 point of view of this emotion. Okay? So for the next probably 5 to 10 minutes, I'll probably just sit in that delicious silence and hear what this emotion of mine is trying to articulate to me, as you should do the same. Just know that you can't do anything wrong. Every single experience you have is just an experience. And you are in control, always. Let us begin. Really think about, I like to really visualize that root chakra, just, that's where the breath starts. It's crazy when I started visualizing it that way, but it just makes it feel so much more powerful. So we start with there, that root. Nice big inhale. And exhale. And you can still be holding that emotion in your hands, or you can imagine yourself placing it down somewhere so you don't have to hold it, or depending on what it is, it could be moving around on its own. Really let go of your mind. Let go of your mind. If you were to sit here and visualize you and this emotion outside of you, and just allow a certain scenario to start taking place mentally in your mind, what would that look like? How would that start taking place? Okay? It's a very individual experience. Another thing I'll say before we go off into silence is that fuck, I forgot it. I was almost there, and then it left me just as I was. It went and it came and it went. Anyway, maybe it'll come back. take 5 really, really deep, deep, deep breaths. And with that, I want you to visualize yourself once again bringing that emotion into your hands. But this time we're going to bring it back into our body. Within each inhale, 5 really, really deep inhales. And as you do this, I want you to visualize the emotion coming back, whether it's, being breathed in through your nostrils or absorbed into the skin, however you want to see it, coming back into you. But this time, it's going to go straight into your heart, where only loving awareness resides, which is something we were practicing a little bit by being able to observe the emotion externally outside of us for that more objective view. The heart does the same thing, but it just says yes to everything. It eats everything. It doesn't matter what it is, if it's shame or fear or love, joy. It doesn't matter what the emotion is. It will dissolve it and have nothing but loving awareness left. Complete, I see you, I hear you, I feel you, and you are perfect as you are type of energy. So, for nice 5 deep breaths, we're going to visualize this, okay? Inhale. Way in there, dissolving it, turning it into love. Hold it, if you can, for a little bit. And then as you exhale, all of it out, everything. Almost envision all of that love, almost like a bunch of tiny hearts, just going off into the air from your exhalation. Another inhale. Hold it. And then exhale all of it out. Feel how this emotion that you're bringing back into your body is shifting with this conscious practice. Another inhale. Hold it. You can place your hand on your heart as I am. It's just something that happens. And exhale. All of it out. Two more. Inhale. You can hold it too if you like. Empty, 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 empty. Really push yourself. Inhale. Our last one. Really see that. Feel it. Your body doesn't know the difference between a visualization, a super powerful visualization, and an actual experience. So let's create an experience. One big inhale. Give thanks to your heart for all the lovely work it does all the time, and then exhale. All of it Now just let your breath naturally find its rhythm. And notice how you feel. If you feel any different from when you first sat down and did this with me. This is a very powerful visualization that can create a lot of very extreme feelings. And it's a credible practice for creating positive change in yourself and the world around you, if taken deliberately and consistently. Life just becomes more and more fun the more you have nothing to resist. So here we are, as we are. I feel very, very good. I feel like I met Jesus. So from where you are, you can continue to do this and just be in love, be with yourself and your emotions. If you've discovered something in yourself, know that I'm so very proud of you. And I have so much love, and I'm so glad that if you took the time to give this a try, thank you for making it this far. I never know what I'm doing. I just kind of hop on here and let my spirit move me. So, thank you so very, very much for taking the chance and stepping into awareness, self-awareness, which I know can be very scary to do when your whole life you've just been running away. So know that I see you, and I'm so fucking proud of you. To come out of this meditation, I'm going to be snapping my fingers 3 times. And when I do this, you can come out of the meditation if you so choose. You can open your eyes, you can start moving around and stretching on the count of 3, okay? 1, 2, 3. Thank you so very much for joining me on the guided meditation today. This is a lot of fun. I never know what I'm going to do. I just show up every single time, but it's always nourishing to the soul, and I'm so glad that I get to be able to finally share this with the world in some way, even though it's a little messy. We're getting better every single day, but yes, thank you. Love you. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your meditation Monday. I will. Much love.